Hey y'all, it's Elizabeth from the blog elizabethsimkins.com, and today I wanted to share another thrift and antique haul with you. Now you might see a little head over here. I wanted to get this filmed before she napped because she naps in here and she's gonna have to nap soon, and so she just has to be awake for this because I already have all the stuff in here. And so she will just be in and out. Okay. So I have talked about before how my mom and I love to thrift and antique. That is our kind of shopping. We don't do a ton of... Okay. This is going to be interesting on how this goes. Can you sit? Okay. We don't do a ton of mall shopping or sale shopping or anything like that. We do a little, but not a lot. But antique and thrift shopping is where we can get a little carried away. So this past weekend, we had a few errands to run, and so we decided that we would just stop in at one store and just see what we could find. Not everything that I'm going to share today is from that thrift store. I have a few extras that I want to throw in just because I have collected them lately, and just a few odds and ends, and so I wanted to throw those in as well. So it is like a thrift and antique haul. Okay. Whoa. You will see, if you see price tags, which you will because I left them on so I could remember some of the prices, you will see that it came from a Savers. Savers is fine. It's not my favorite place to shop. I most usually can find something. It's just their prices have gone up quite a bit, but for what you can find, sometimes you still get a really good deal. So it is probably the thrift store that we go into the most often for convenience, but it is not by any means our most favorite. And so since we were only going to one store, that is where we decided to go. We had to drop some stuff off there anyway, and so we had some 20% off coupons, and so of course we're going to stop. So let's get into it. I'll show you a few things that I have collected lately, and some of them are useful, some of them are just beautiful, and so let's get started. I tend to collect in groups. It seems this isn't something that I try to do, it just kind of happens, and sometimes it's because we're working on a specific space, or we're doing something specific, and so we're looking for a certain thing. So that was just kind of what was on our mind. So sometimes that is how this goes, and we have like a thrift haul of all the same thing or an antique haul of all the same thing. And then sometimes it's just a mishmash because I collect a few things here and there, which is how some of this is. So a lot of what you'll see today is groups of all the same things. And that's just because maybe these are projects that we're working on, or I don't really know, but some of it isn't. So let's start with some of those groups. So we found, and I have a hilarious video of Isla in the cart, we found a ton of frames. We are working on a few places of hanging art, and so we really searched through their frames, and they had a lot. Sometimes you go in there and they really don't have many frames, or it's just like weird wall decor. But on this trip, they had so many. We got all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 frames. They had a ton to choose from, and so we just bought them up since they have them, because my mom and I were talking, and sometimes you go in and they don't have anything, and you walk out with nothing. So we went ahead and bought a bunch up. The first 2 pieces that we got are these, and they were the same style of art, and it's rare that I find a frame that I like the art that's already in it. But these we did, and the art was the same style and the frame was the same, so we figured they were the same. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is a watercolor or like an original painting of some type, or a print. It kind of looks like a print. I don't know. But either way, they're both very pretty. The frames are very pretty wood frames, and so I paid $4.99 for each of these plus 20% off. We have a gallery wall that we are working on, which is why we went in there for frames. But I don't think that these are going to go on it. So these are going to go in our bedroom, I think. So those were the first two. We paid $4.99 each. And then the rest of these, except this one, are for the gallery wall. This one is not. I don't really know anything about it. It's metal and it's got some distressing. The majority of it is white and it's got some gold metal peeping through. Figured bedside table or something. The next one is this. We did not like the art in this. It'll come out. But the frame was just too pretty to pass up. And this one we paid $5.99. I just thought it was too pretty to pass up. And so all of these will kind of, the next few will all kind of go together in a gallery wall. So we don't like the art in this one, but that's okay. It will just be used for the frame. This was the next one, just another gold frame. We don't like the art in it, but $6.99 for a frame. You just can't beat that. Yeah. And then this one, $4.99 for this. Again, not the best art, but it will do. Now this is the last frame. It is very large, but we only paid $7.99 for the solid wood frame. Not sure about the painting in it or the art in it, but this is part of it as well. Okay, now you can see a doll over here because of Isla. Come on out. Okay, so that's all of the frames. I got a few other things from this thrift haul, a couple of linens, and another thing I'll show you. And then I'll show you some that were not from this thrift store, but that I've collected lately. Okay, this dress I got at the thrift store. I don't remember what I paid for this, honestly. Their prices have gone up, so their dresses are almost just ridiculously overpriced. This is probably hilarious to some people because it is just an interesting dress. But I love finding dresses like this that even if I don't love them as dresses, I can cut them off and make skirts or use the fabric, if I like the fabric itself, as things to make, I don't know, pillows, tablecloths, anything like that. So I picked this up. I don't know if I'm going to keep it as a dress or cut it off into a skirt, but those will probably be the options. It has buttons up here and then just a nice skirt on the bottom. So we will see what I do with that. Okay, and I've talked about aprons before. I make most of my aprons. They're one of my favorite things to make because I wear them so often. They get so dirty and torn, and so I make a lot of aprons. And I'm always on the lookout at thrift stores and antique stores for other ones as well. And so I picked this one up. Isla, I'm not showing you, baby. You've already seen all this. Stay right there. Okay, you stay right there. Let Mama finish. Mama's almost done. Okay, so I picked this up. I saw it and I thought, oh, I have to have that. It is for sure handmade. Somebody sewed this. You can tell very easily by the way the pockets are. And so I just grabbed this as well. And I think I paid like $1.99 for this. Okay, I said the apron was funny, but this is probably funny to show in a thrift haul. But I find stuff like this on occasion, and it's my favorite way to get some of my kitchen tools, especially things like cast iron. But I grabbed a stainless steel frying pan and a matching lid. I know that I paid $2.99 for the lid, and I think I paid $6.99 for the pan itself. I just went down the aisle and I found this, and then I was like, I wonder if they have a lid that fits it, and they did, and so I grabbed that. This is a 10-inch skillet. Cast iron is my first love. I prefer cast iron over anything. I've actually made a few videos on cast iron, a whole series on it. I think there's 3 that I will link below for you all. So I love cast iron most of all. But right now I can't cook on the stovetop with my cast iron, and so I am collecting a few stainless steel pieces. We have a million pots that are stainless steel, but no pans. And so I picked one of these up, a 10-inch one, and it's got really deep sides. I don't know, like 3 or 4 inches. And so I've already cooked with it a few times. It cooks like a dream, and so it's not my cast iron, but it is the next best thing in my opinion. And so I picked this up. I will say that I ordered one off Amazon as well, and it's much bigger than this, and I don't regret buying it because it serves a different purpose. But I want to say it is probably a 14-inch and this is a 10-inch, so that's a big difference in size. But I paid like $8 for this set total, and I paid $50 for the new pan set, so keep that in mind. They didn't have a bigger one at the thrift store, or I would have picked it up too, because it's just one of those things, like I feel like you need plenty of. Most of the time they're in great shape or just need a little bit of cleaning up. They had a ton of cast iron too. I have plenty of cast iron. I do not need to get any more cast iron, especially right now. But they always have really nice tools like that. Knives, wooden utensils, all kinds of stuff. So that is something that I always look for at thrift stores too. This next item is also from the same thrift store, but I saved it for the end because I have a whole collection to show that I have just picked up recently. And so I grabbed a few books. Now this one is the Ultimate American Country Living Lifestyle something, I don't know. It's all about cooking, design, gardening, and entertaining. And so I just loved the photos in it, and look, that is just a cute little mailbox. And so it has kind of several topics, and I thought it was neat. I love books like this. And so I grabbed this. I paid $3.99 plus 20% off. So these I've picked up at various places. I'm always on the lookout for books, specifically design books while we were working on our house. Plus I just love to display them and have them sitting out. So I have antiques at home. I got this from a Books A Million actually, so I don't know that it's considered thrifting, but it is used. I guess they've started mixing in, or maybe they've done this forever and I just didn't know, but they have used books mixed in with all of their new books. It's just sorted by category. And so they have a different sticker on the back that shows you the price. So I did pay more for these. I paid $8. And this one is just about styling antiques, buying different antiques. I thought it was pretty neat. A lot of these are older books too. Most of them that I find are. All of the newer books like this are so expensive I haven't bought them. Like, I would love to have Nora Murphy's Country Home book, but it is like $40, or at least at this Books A Million it was. It may be cheaper on Amazon. Then I have Creating Country Style. This is more of like a DIY book on how you can like cross-stitch napkin. It's got some painting stuff. Yeah. So more DIYs to get that country look. The country look is my style, and I'm kind of figuring it out more and more, and so these books really have shown me that. And that one I paid, I think, about the same. Yeah, about $8. Some of these books cost more than I normally would pay, but if they are special enough, I'll get them. I don't know that this one's really that old. The pictures kind of look old, but it looks like it's in like brand new condition. I have no idea. Let's just see when it was copyrighted. 1998, so there you go. Someone has not read this very much. It's like in perfect condition. All these other ones are a little bit rough looking. Okay, this one is The Country Home. I paid $2. I actually don't remember where I got this, so I don't know. But this one is purely a design book, and it goes through different country styles, so like country Victorian, rustic, so you can kind of figure it out, modern country, and it gives you, the neat thing about this is obviously there's photos of the different styles, but where did I just see it? It also shows the color schemes for that style, which to me is pretty neat. So I have 4 books. I love these books. I'm always collecting books like this. And I use these to help with our home building and designing, and then also just decor for right now. Look at her. Are you stuck? Okay. Okay, I have 2 more kind of bigger items that I have collected, and one of them is right behind me. I wouldn't say that I collected this recently. We have had this, and I just recently pulled it out of storage to use it because we switched a lot of spots in the house around, and so I needed a new place for my clothes. So all of my clothes are in this hutch behind me, and it is the most beautiful thing. It's actually my grandfather's. It has a drawer here, and then it's got a mirror on the front, obviously. And then you open it up, and it's just got a hanging bar, and it is so beautiful. It's the perfect wood tone that I really love, and so we have now put that in our bedroom, and it is holding all of my clothes. You know, I don't keep a lot of clothes. I've done blog posts on my capsule wardrobes, and I don't like to keep a lot of clothes, so they all fit in here, in season stuff, and then I have a bin or 2 under the bed that has my out of season stuff. And so that is something else, of course, that was given to me. So the last item, I don't know if I've shared about it. I probably have. And y'all are probably like, we know. But the last item that I collected, I guess, and I actually have 2 of these, but we've only gotten one, is an antique sofa. And we've had this for a while as well, as far as like knowing that I would have it. But we just went and picked it up because I'm wanting to go ahead and reupholster this one. I have 2. I have one that I'm going to do something totally different with. But right now I'm just going to try and reupholster this one. So it is just an antique sofa. It was my husband's grandma's, and then of course it got passed down to his dad. And so it has now been given to me. I'm going to reupholster it, and then I have a few ideas for it right now. But we went and picked that up, and so I'm very excited about that. Again, I have 2. Right now, I've just collected the one, and it's going to be one of those projects that it was kind of last minute, and I'm going to use stuff that I already have. So I'm going to try and use fabric and things that I already have to get this kind of makeover done on it, and I'm hoping to share that as well on here, so be on the lookout for that. But those are all of the items that I collected this go around, plus a few scattered in from a few other hauls, but I just wanted to share that today. I share these actually quite often right now because we are doing a lot of thrifting and antiquing and collecting, and so if that's something you enjoy, be sure to subscribe. I share here on YouTube and also over on my blog elizabethsimpkins.com weekly all about from scratch food, our country home, and a simple lifestyle. Thank you for stopping by.